Hi everyone, and welcome to Cooking with Cricket. Today I'm going to show you how I make cream corn. So it can be messy, but it's very well worth it, and my family loves it. So we found some corn that was on sale the other day. So first I take the husk off. I try to get most of the silk off now before I wash it. But I'll get all this peeled, and then I'm going to wash it real good, and then I'll be back. Alright, I've got my corn washed, drained real good. So now I've got to get it off the cob, and you need to be very careful with this. It's going to be kind of dangerous. But I have me a big bowl. If you don't have one of these, I sometimes use my big pot, you know, to catch all that's going to fly. And I have my table lined with newspaper. But it's best to use a sharp knife, and I like to use a serrated knife. But on the flat part, I set it down in there. Make sure my fingers are back, and just start cutting it off. Then I turn it over and get the very top part. And then I like to scrape it to get all the juice and all out. So I'll turn it to the back part of my knife. Or you can use the front part and just scrape. It gets all the milk out of it and stuff. And the juice. There, one scraped and clean corn cob. And I'll continue it with the rest. I have all of my corn off my cob, scraped it real well. So now I'll meet you at the stove. Alright, I'm ready to cook my cream corn. So I have me a saute pan. I'm going to put it about on medium heat. And add it. And I'm going to put about a half cup of water in my bowl to rinse it out and add that to it. I want to get all that good flavor. Then I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of butter. And this really will depend on your taste, but I love butter with corn. Then I'm going to add some black pepper. Now I like lots of black pepper with my corn. And I'm going to add a little bit of kosher salt. And this really doesn't have to cook long, but I like to simmer mine for a little bit. Let the the water evaporate a little bit, get real good and concentrated. And if it's not thickening up like I like, then I will add either some cornstarch or flour at the end, but I'll show you that. And I also, because I like color in my stuff, I'm going to add me a little bit of Louisiana hot sauce. It's not going to make it hot, but just give it a flavor. I love this stuff. It just gives it a good spice to it. But I just add a couple of dashes to that. I don't want it real hot. I do not add sugar to mine. It's going to be sweet enough just with the corn. I don't want it real sweet. A lot of people add sugar, but I don't. And I'm going to be adding a little bit of my parsley flakes, dry parsley flakes for color. And then I put in just a little shake of paprika because the red and the yellow is pretty. So I'm going to bring this to a boil and then turn it down and let it simmer. Like I say, I let mine cook about 30 minutes. Sometimes I may go longer. But you don't want to just not stir it because this will stick or scorch. That's why I have it in a non-stick pan. But you do want to, you know, stir it quite often. So I'm going to bring it to a boil, let it simmer, and then I'll be back in a little bit to finish it up. I have had my cream corn simmering for about 30 minutes now. Like I say, you don't even have to let it simmer that long, but I like mine to cook a little bit, and I have had to add little bits of water to it at a time. I like for it to evaporate, reduce and concentrate, and add a little bit more. I just like for mine to cook like that. So to thicken up the juice, you can either add a mixture of cornstarch with a little water. If you do that, don't just add in cornstarch. Get you a little bit of water, maybe a tablespoon. Mix you about a teaspoon. It really depends on how much corn. About a teaspoon, and whisk it together and stir it in there. And once it thickens, it's done. But I'm going to show how I do flour and butter. I've took a teaspoon of butter and melted it. I've added a teaspoon of flour. I'm going to mix it smooth because you just don't want to add your flour in there. It'll lump up. But if you mix it with butter or water, then it won't lump up on you. So I don't have that much corn. I've only did 6 ears. If you have more corn, add a little bit more. So this is simmering good now, so I'm gonna add this in. And you do want to cook it for a little bit so you can cook out the flour taste of it. Stir it around. And you'll start seeing it thicken up a little bit. If it isn't as thick as you like it, add a little bit more. So I'm going to let mine simmer for just a couple of more minutes. If you add flour, you do have to let it simmer to reach its full thickening potential. So I'm going to let mine simmer for a couple of more minutes and see how it gets. So I'll be back. Alright, my corn has simmered for a couple more minutes. Looks real good to me. See how pretty that looks? And it's going to be yummy too. Tonight we're having pork chops cooked on the grill with fresh cream corn, fresh filled peas, and some tomato slices. And we're going to have some rolls too. This is going to be real good. I hope you enjoy. Let's serve it immediately. And I hope you enjoy.